You're listening to TAGSPodcast, episode 651. On this episode of TAGS, we are talking about White Lotus and incest. Is it just too much, or are you into it? What would your wedding look like? We discuss from gay celebs to host Stevie V's upcoming wedding. Is unconventional in? Banning MAGA from our safe spaces. Two examples this past weekend that have us going crazy. Is Gen Z meeting their mate in person, says a new study? The morning routine that has the internet in a meltdown. Plus, we're giving advice. Are you or your partner handy? We get into it on this episode of Tags Podcast. What is going on? You are listening to Tags Podcast, aka Talk About Gay Sex Podcast. This is episode 651. I am your host, Stevie V, alongside Jeremy Ross Lopez. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
Very good, very good. On this Monday, before it drops on Tuesday, and of course, rounding out our beautiful equation is the lovely and talented Kodi Maurice Doggette. How the hell you doing, Kodi?
Hello, darling. I'm doing wonderful. A little bit hungover, girl, but still doing good, though.
Oh, yeah. We were just talking offline a little bit that we were having a lot of fun yesterday here in New York City, but that's what Sunday Fun Day is for. But I understand that you, Jeremy, had a nice relaxing weekend.
Yes, definitely. Quiet, low-key, movies, shows, and lots of relaxing.
Sometimes those are the best, too. And then when Monday does roll around, you feel like great, and I love that feeling too. So yeah, a mixture of both is good. But spring is here; we're super excited, and let's start off with some fun news. Let's start off with music. And over the weekend, this is one of my current favorite things to see: is seeing artists supporting other artists. And over the weekend at the Lipa show in Melbourne, Troye Sivan, of course, showed up, and together they sang Rush, his song. And it was, I don't know if you guys had a chance to see it, but it was really fun, and the crowd went wild. Of course, Troye being Australian, and I just thought it was super cool. Did any of you guys happen to see that? It kind of went viral over the weekend.
Yes, I loved it.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see it, Kodi?
I saw them doing the choreography to the Rush, and I didn't know that he went on stage and they sang the song together. But I saw that they did the choreography.
Yeah, which was super fun. Mostly choreography, but they sang over the track a little bit as well. And she looked gorgeous. And
yeah, she did.
Yeah, I mean, that show. Do you have tickets to that? I can't remember, Jeremy.
To Dua Lipa, I'm going to see her in September.
Okay, that is probably one of the hottest tickets that I would want to see. That and Kylie Minogue, but for sure, the Dua Lipa show is going to be amazing.
Yeah,
but I love it when they bring on guests like that. Staying in music. Well, one of my other favorite things. This was maybe a couple weeks ago in London at the Sabrina Carpenter show. Janet Jackson showed up and went backstage afterwards.
Wow.
And showed her love and support for Sabrina Carpenter, which I thought was really cool. And then maybe late last year, Madonna went to the Billie Eilish show, which was super fun, and was singing along to all of Billie's tracks. And I just love that when you see artists going to other concerts. And what's fun about Madonna is it's at the same place that she did her celebration tour. So it's probably fun for her to be in the audience supporting another artist, especially younger artists too. I love seeing that. Staying in music news, Khalid, who, if you remember, recently was outed and ultimately came out in a really big way, but the community has really embraced Khalid, and he will now be alongside Jennifer Lopez and many other artists performing at DC's World Pride. And I just think after coming out, after being outed, he really embraced it. And what a great place. He'll be alongside Cynthia Erivo. Doechii will be performing. Once again, Troye Sivan, RuPaul even. And it all happens June 6th through 7th in DC, Kim Petras, a lot of people. This is going to be a really big World Pride
Yeah,
happening.
definitely.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. And
We going? We going?
I mean, do we need to make the trek out there? Yeah, this is going to be Doechii. I think is one of the hottest tickets right now as well. I mean,
Yeah.
And Cynthia Erivo?
come on, straight off of Wicked. Jennifer Lopez, we talked about, amazing.
yes.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And lastly, in music news, is who could? I mean, are we all watching White Lotus? Jeremy, are you watching White Lotus?
Yes, I am. I love it.
Okay, so Parker Posey is just, iconic. She's one of my favorite actresses of all time. Probably my favorite movie is Party Girl. Love, love, love. If you haven't seen it, it's so worth it. But she is really having so much fun with this part on the current season 3 of White Lotus. And there's a really good remix when she was, I think, on one of the morning shows where she was basically using her accent the way and saying things like tsunami, Buddhism, Piper, no, in the way she can. And somebody decided to, I think it was Kyle, remixed it and made a whole gay anthem out of it. I mean, seriously, if I hear this, I've been playing it all day long.
Oh my goodness.
And I just love it. And I mean, I want them to play it when I'm out next because I just think it's so fun. And I need to see the video with it. And also, I've been watching I've been going down a Parker Posey interview, and she's been doing quite a few lately. And her choice of looks is just amazing. She has like these gowns on, and it's very Parker Posey, and I just love it. Did you guys hear the track, and what do you guys think about it? Jeremy?
Yes, I heard it. I think it's so funny, and she definitely makes this season interesting.
Yes.
I feel like it's just starting to get good now.
Yeah, exactly. What do you feel about the whole suggesting incest and
that I was like really turned off from, and I thought it's kind of like gives us a bad rap as a community just because I think that we're already presumed as highly sexual and like that being like top priority, and so I feel like the whole incest thing is really I don't know, it gave me like a creepy, like kind of sick vibe. Just because I have 3 brothers, so I mean,
yeah,
it just made me feel like there wasn't 1 ounce of it that I found hot at all, and not to be a dead giveaway, but the fact that he jerked him off.
When? Oh,
wait,
no spoilers, girl.
No spoilers.
I know. So you'll have
what?
to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see, I missed
Jeremy.
That's my Monday night. We should have prefaced that. That's okay.
I know.
But we know what road it was going down anyway.
Yes,
that's so funny, though. It was giving a little creepy vibes at first, but in true Mike White fashion, I think there's going to be, well, you just told us one thing, so maybe it is going down that road. But the young actor that is the younger of the 2 brothers was on an interview where he said that he doesn't think that his character really knows his sexuality yet. He could go either way. And so I don't know. And I still feel like there might be some twists and turns, but I don't know after that, Kodi, now that we know a little bit more.
Wow.
I know.
I was like, when did that happen? Oh, last night. Yes.
Yeah, right. That is so funny. What do you think about it, though?
I mean, I love Parker Posey. The whole incest vibe. She's done a movie like this before, House of Yes. Have you guys seen it?
Oh, yes, you're right.
No.
It's a really good movie, and she's fantastic in it. I've loved her for a long time. So I think that yes, it's creepy. Yes,
she's trying to block her brother's marriage, right? And it's all under one roof, and she's totally diva and sporting around this like severe haircut, and she's got all these looks, and she's trying to basically cock block the woman that wants to marry her brother, right?
Yep. It's a fabulous movie.
It's weird, and it's very indie. Yeah.
And just like these vibes that it's given in White Lotus. So I mean it unfortunately, I mean, it does happen. skeeves me out every single time. But I mean, I'm here for the story. We'll see what happens. They're not actually brothers, so I think I can take it a little bit more. So we'll see. I'm loving this show though. It's really really addicting to see what's going to actually happen next.
Yes, and then just the fact that I love the locales. I love. I've been to Thailand. I love Thailand, and it's just I love the whole vibe.
I also
of it.
really love the bucktooth girl.
Yeah.
I just had to say that.
Wait, who's the bucktooth girl? Who are we
She's
talking about?
British, and
She's dating the one with the crazy
Oh,
hair.
I love her.
Yeah.
She's the best.
her
She's
eyes
so
and her buck
cute.
teeth.
Yeah.
I adore her.
I loved her in Sex Education, and then when I saw that she was on this, I just like fell more in love with her. Like I just think she's hilarious.
Totally.
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
really, really is.
all she has to do is open her eyes, and you're just like, oh yes, I need to see more of it.
And what about Natasha Rothwell's hot son? Oh my God, I want to see more of him. I can't wait till he gets to the
right.
yeah.
Yes.
And
okay.
Porn Chai. Okay, all right. Well, I can
Yeah.
go on and on about all the hot guys.
Yeah, we can. But to your point, Jeremy, just and then we'll move on. I've never been, and some people in our community have had a thing for like twin brothers and that whole thing that you've seen like in porn. And first of all, I've never been into twins, and I don't really think the brotherly thing is anything I've ever been into. But it has been sort of a porn thing throughout the years.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just. I don't know. I'm just not, that whole brotherly thing. I'm not.
But I feel like it's honestly one of those things that I feel it's for shock value and for like a quick buck. I don't feel like it seems very realistic, especially in porn where it just feels like staged and kind of for views and likes and like that kind of thing more than like actual relationship.
Yeah, when you find yourself going through your mind and thinking, is this just for like, for a buck and that kind of thing, then it's like it takes you out of it, any sexual content that you would actually be into. Do you feel the same way, Kodi, on that? Or are you like...
I think I used to have a huge fetish for this back in the day, but then I, evaluated and I grew and I like thought about, would I want anybody to sexualize me and my brother? And the answer is no. So I quickly evolved out of this, but I don't know if it's something that's put on. I feel like for a lot of people, yes, but do we remember those twins from Bellamy? I forget their name. I was just trying to Google them.
Oh, I remember Bellamy, and I remember there was, those twins. I don't know their names, but...
They seemed like they were very much into each other. So I don't think it was put on for them. I don't know. But who knows, right?
Yeah.
The Peters twins. That's who it is.
Got it. All right. Well, let's move on because it is wedding season. I'll talk a little bit about planning mine. I did mention that I'm engaged and going to be married later this summer, but a lot of people like Joel Kim Booster, who proposed to his husband or fiance now, John Michael Sudsina, was recently on a podcast for Grindr and was talking about the wedding plans. And he actually says they don't, other than an elaborate weekend that he wants all of his friends to come, he says we don't have a ton of specifics planned out yet, but his mom and his dad and his sister will come and maybe a cousin or two, but none of my family is making it to this wedding, and so it's all going to be gay guys. And so there will be no cha-cha slides. It's all going to be disco house music that you'd hear at a warehouse in downtown LA, which I found interesting. As much as I love house music, I'll talk about my wedding. I don't think I'd want club music per se at my wedding, but maybe if only it was gay guys. Would you guys want that at your wedding, Jeremy?
No, I think I would definitely want like hand-picked songs that mean something to like family and then also whoever's there, because I feel like it makes it more of a great memory and an enjoyable evening, like knowing that you have some connection to the music. And I feel like a lot of that house, like party music, is more of its own entity and its own vibe, like going to a music festival or like, I don't know, just partying without it being like a special occasion.
Yeah, I went to my college buddy's wedding a couple of years ago in Puerto Vallarta. And when I say it was extravagant, it was probably one of the most extravagant weddings I've ever been to. It was on multiple tiers. We kept moving around this property, and there was a live band. At one point, there was a drag queen performing. There was a harpist playing, and a grand piano with a singer that sounded like Lady Gaga. She could sing of Lady Gaga's music. I mean, it was just like we paid tickets to one of the most amazing concerts ever. And there's that extreme. But he loves club music, my friend, but I love that he could afford one, but also that he had a live band, and it made it that much more special. When I say the band, there was like full band, but then 5 different singers, and they all sounded amazing. It was just so fun. I will not be doing that. I will have a playlist going at mine, but I'm starting to, like you said, put certain songs in a playlist that will want, and ours is going to be more of a cocktail reception type deal. And here's one place I can tell you where I am getting married is at the New York Eagle, which is very unconventional, but I'm so happy. It's where we met, and I think it's going to be pretty special. I know Jeremy and Kodi, you'll both be there, and I can't wait to continue planning this. But yeah, you do have to think of, in talking to my mom, she was telling me, well, if you invite this cousin, then you have to invite this cousin. If you invite this cousin, then you have to invite your aunt. I'm like, my aunt's 93 from LA. And she was saying that it's more whether or not they will come or not, it's more about like the respect, and you don't want relatives talking and finding out that they weren't invited. And so it gets kind of political with your family too. But we will. And the other thing that my mom said that she won't let Diego or I do is we have to wear socks. She's not a fan of that no sock look. So for my mom, we will be. And fortunately for Diego's sake, he doesn't like that look either. And so she says, no, I will put polka dot socks on you if I see that look. She says, all the telenovela stars that I watch, they all love to cross their leg and show their ankles. And some of them are skinny. And she was going off on him like, okay, Mom.
That's so funny.
I will invite my
Mom.
93-year-old aunt, and I will put on some socks for you. So, but I don't know, Kodi, what are your thoughts about club music at a wedding?
I mean, to each their own. It's their wedding, so they get to have what their fantasy is for that. But for me personally, I would not have that type of vibe for my wedding, because for me, it's all about family. So I would definitely do a mixture of things. Disco is cool, something from the 80s, something to please the majority of people, because you're never going to please everybody. But maybe if I was having like a side wedding with just the gays and the boys, maybe we would do something more clubby, more circuit party type of vibe. So you never know. And I'm down for anything. So yeah, good. Congratulations to Joel Kim Booster at the end of the day.
I mean, yeah, to each his own. And I think that's the beauty of it. I put a link in our recording thing that you can look at it. 2 other people that got married that are doing it their way. It's Vegas dancer who says I do in kind of a fabulous way. It's Curtis Goodman, had to stay true to himself in creating the outfit for his big day. So he's a prominent go-go dancer at Piranha, which you and I have been to, Jeremy, in Vegas. And you can just tell by his body, I'll post this on TAGSPodcast reference episode 651, that he takes care of himself. He is a performer type. Well, just to describe it, he's basically wearing, is it a thong? Basically a lace white thong and a short crop white
jacket?
tuxedo jacket, thank you, with it looks like a lot of rhinestones perhaps on the lapels. And for his partner, he did a version of it, but clearly the partner's not a dancer, and so he made him a vest and pants, and which I thought, okay, good, I'm not going to wear that, but I will wear. And he just basically said, listen, if I have to do it my way, I have to do it, I am very flamboyant, and it's his signature style. I mean, I can't really quit because I am getting married at the New York Eagle, and we will have an homage with some leather. We're kind of putting together the look right now, but we really want to put like a little touch of leather since it is a leather bar. And I used to be a leather man, and so I like that idea. What do you think about this, Jeremy, of like staying true to his style and what they wore?
I mean, I don't love what they wore, but I do understand why they wore it. So for me, it's totally not my thing because I don't, it just looks a little too like,
Costumey.
yeah, like Las Vegas showgirl, but in a way, he is that already. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's just, it's too much for me. Like, I like fashion so much that I like the actual clothes of it. So like a panty and a jacket doesn't seem like that for me.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you. I was the same way when I first saw this, but then I thought, well, look in the mirror. You're doing yours a certain way as well. And I do love that in this day and age with, let's keep gay marriage, people, but that we can express our how we want to have our wedding
Mm-hmm.
however we want. To me, this look is a little bit more costume, and I tend to err more on fashion like you. But hey, this is what they chose to wear. What do you think about it, Kodi?
I think it's fabulous. Again, to each their own. I couldn't wear this, but I mean, not couldn't. I could wear anything, girl.
I was
But
going to say, crop top has your name all over it.
hey, oh my God, can you imagine getting married in a crop top? That would be fabulous. No, but I feel like this is it's to his liking, and everybody is loving him. So I think that this is great for him, and for me personally, I like to do things a little bit more traditionally. I would definitely incorporate tuxedo vibes. We will be matching. I just have my dream wedding all planned out in my mind, and I can't wait.
We were talking about this over drinks, and you really do have been planning this for years and years in your
Since
mind.
I was a
And
little
so,
girl, a little gay boy in heels.
yeah, it's kind of interesting because I don't know if I was planning it, but I have in more recent years. Have you always thought of that, Jeremy? Like what your wedding may look like?
Not really. I don't know. Like, I feel like as I get older, I would have it be more simple than I thought that I would have, like when I was young,
I hear
if that
that.
makes sense. Like I think that I would err on it being more intimate and really hand selecting like each person and each song and like having it be personal to me and the other person rather than like invite every person that you know. Where when you're little, I feel like you want like that extravagant, like over the
Fairy
top,
tale.
yeah, like
Production.
ridiculous wedding and like a huge train and like just being really dramatic. But I feel like as I've gotten older, I've definitely toned down a lot.
I have to say, in planning this, it really is going to be for friends and family, and that is exactly the way we're going about it. And like you said, I'm hand selecting songs, and we are not going to try and redo the Eagle. I mean, we chose to get married at the New York Eagle, so it needs to look like the New York Eagle, but we will have a few things up here and there. But it reminds me because Diego works in weddings, and he was telling me about this extravagant wedding where the wedding planner, oh my God, it was the most roses. It was truckloads of roses. And it covered from the moment she walked down this very long aisle to this huge thing that she got married under was filled with them. And it was the moment the wedding was over, they trashed all these roses because it was like, what
Mm,
do we do with them? And it sounded like such a waste,
yeah.
right? And
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I just think I'm not in for that either. So, but
But query, would so your mom wants you to wear socks, right? So would she be okay with you just to have the thong on and socks too, as long as the songs are the socks are incorporated?
she probably doesn't care what I'm wearing underneath my pants because
Oh,
she,
so but you're
yeah.
definitely gonna have on pants. Okay, all right. I just want to
Oh,
get that out there.
absolutely. Yes. Oh my God. 100%. Yes. Speaking of what not to wear, it was a bad week for MAGA trolls who tried to annoy people at gay bars. Can you imagine seeing people wear Make America Great Again hats in a gay bar? The first had to do with a woman that went into a bar, I think it was in Chatterbox in Indiana, and she was really harassing and actually shouting out slurs, homophobic slurs to some of the bartenders. And she was trying to provoke many of them. And then she was trying to even get like a drink. And she says, "Don't you guys want my money?" She chided, to which one of the bartenders replied, "No, actually, we don't." And she could feel the tension rising, but she kept whining. And she says, "This is like discrimination." She was, but the bar and Chatterbox Bar in Indianapolis, said that she attacked the bartenders while using homophobic slurs directed at the gay staff members. And according to our investigation, her name is Elise Hensley, approached the bar with friends and she was asked to leave. She then re-entered the establishment to continue to chastise everybody. And it was like, girl, get out. And moving over to Sacramento, California, a man was coming from a MAGA event, actually gays that support MAGA or LGBTQ, believe it or not. And he decided to wear his hat into a bar called, I think it's called Badlands in Sacramento. And he was getting a lot of sneers from a lot of the patrons in the bar, as you can imagine, and it was causing a little bit of an uproar. And they actually asked him to leave as well. He wasn't really saying anything to the patrons, but they did ask him, and that bar has now instituted, which is legal, where you cannot wear any MAGA paraphernalia when you go to this bar. And I did look it up, and that is a legal thing that a bar, it has the right to implement that. But Jeremy, when you hear this story, obviously the first woman should definitely be kicked out. But what do you think about kicking out the second man who was just simply wearing the hat?
I mean, I think that as the bar patron, you know what you're doing. So, I mean, I feel like they kind of deserve the backlash that they got, but that's just because I disagree with the views, and I think that they're doing it on purpose, and it just makes me think that you're doing it to get a rise out of people rather than like actually just wearing it casually.
Yeah, at this point, you have to know what that represents and what it'll ignite,
Right.
especially in a LGBTQ plus bar. So I think he had it coming to him. I do, on the other hand, like if I was in that particular establishment, while I might see it, I would definitely just look away and ignore it and just not make it part of my business. It's also the same thing going on with people trashing Teslas right now because they're mad at Elon Musk in the White House. And I just think, like, what a waste of time. I mean, I don't like Elon Musk, and I definitely don't like him in the White House. And I hate Teslas, because I don't even know how to get in and out of them. I can't ever figure out that stupid doorknob thing. And I find them cavernous, and just that stupid screen in there, I hate them. But still, I am not going to go around wasting my time blowing up Teslas because I'm mad at one man that I don't think should be in the White House. Kodi, how do you weigh in on all this?
I think that they should all be ejected from gay bars. The lady that was causing a ruckus and this man that was just sitting there with his hat on. The hat is very divisive, and it's come to mean something in society right now. So for him to even think of wearing that in a gay bar, where essentially to me it means that he is not for gay rights, he's not for gay marriage, he's against trans people, and this is supposed to be our safe space. So I can't believe that he would even think that it was okay for him to wear that in this space. And he deserves what he gets. It's almost, for me personally, it's almost like wearing like a KKK hood to, a black church or any place where there's black people where they congregate, or even, I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of what it's like for me.
Yeah, I think Don Lemon said it similarly recently on an interview that it's like black people supporting Trump. He doesn't get it, and it doesn't make any sense. And a lot of black people do support him, and we're not happy with his comment. But I agree. Just it's a total disconnect, and it is divisive to wear that hat. And yeah, so I am glad though that Badlands in Sacramento implemented that, and they put it all over their social media that if you are caught wearing that, then you cannot enter this bar. So good for them.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Okay, well, this is actually some good news and believe it or not, Gen Z is leading the pack, and it's goodbye grinder because Gen Z is finding their partners the old-fashioned way in real life. And there was a study that found that basically 77% of people have met their match that are in Gen Z in real life. And that just goes against all the norms that everybody is. I'll just read you a couple stats and then we'll discuss. 82% of men and women in the US aged 18 to 65 who report either being married or in a relationship say that they met in person, not on a dating app, online community, or through social media. And Gen Zers were more likely than millennials, Gen Xers, or boomers to meet their match digitally, but still only 23% of 18 to 29-year-olds report having done so, meaning that basically 77% met their partner the old-fashioned way in person. And it's a study that was done by Hims, the brand Hims. There was more to it. It's worth posting on TAGSPodcast.com. But Jeremy, when you hear that, everybody says that they meet their partner. I always thought it was digitally, especially with younger generations like Gen Zers. Does this surprise you?
Yeah, it definitely surprises me just because I feel like also the newest generations have the most grasp at technology and the best ways to use it and the newest apps and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like they frequent it the most, that it's kind of interesting that their consensus is that they've met people in person.
Yeah, it goes on to say, Kodi, that a lot of people they met through family, actually through family friends. Some of them actually at bars, just on the streets. Some of them blind dates. It gave various reasons and ways that people have actually met. But does this study surprise you that? Or does it not? Because we also know that we talk a lot about it on this show where a lot of people use the apps, but with flaky people and ghosting and catfishing, that people aren't really having luck. So maybe they're just going out more and meeting their significant other.
Maybe. This does actually really surprise me because for me, I was under the impression, maybe I'm wrong, that Gen Z, yep, I got that right.
I know, it gets confusing.
Too many letters. Okay, are we going to double A next? I don't know what's going on.
Please don't add a new one anytime soon.
So I was under the impression that they had more social anxiety than all previous many previous generations, mainly due to them having the internet and their social media and things of that nature, and they can do so many things behind a computer screen. So for me, this is very shocking, and I am curious as to how they're going out and meeting these people. I mean, you went down a couple examples, but I've got to get some tips and tricks from the Gen Z crowd because, I need to be meeting some people out in the world as well.
Well, to your point, this was one study done by Hims. I mentioned that. They do actually give tips at the end of this story. They give 3 tips.
Hand it over.
Here's the 3 tips they give. I mean, I'm sure there's way more, but the ones they give are prioritizing your mental health. If it feels a little tougher lately because of politics, stress at work, so on and so forth. If you're feeling burned out or depressed, practicing self-care can help you. And that's kind of a general thing. I don't think anybody's ever perfect when you go out on dates, but you don't want to be suicidal and going on dates. So take care of yourself on that. This was an interesting one, but I think it's a good one, especially for gay men. Address any medical conditions that may be affecting your dating life. So things like low testosterone. We talk a lot about that on this show, where often your general practitioner doesn't offer that blood test, but it's a simple one they can do when you get your physical. I do it every year, and if you just ask them, they'll do it. I mean, they're already testing for all these other things. Test for that. And that's a good one too, because it has not only to do with your sex drive, but of course your mood. Things like they mention erectile dysfunction and premature ejaculation. So things to consider for that. And lastly, put yourself out there. Not a surprise that you really need to get out there and, also get friends, really surround yourself with friends, because you can also meet people through friends. And yes, and it's never too late, they say, to meet somebody. So, kind of generic things, but things to consider as well. So, okay, well, we were laughing about this video, and I've seen a lot of these videos that have gone viral over the last couple of years. And they're these TikTok videos where somebody is showing you, they're usually like in really amazing shape. They always seem to have like a lot of money for some reason. Like, I'm not sure exactly what they do, but in this particular case, it was a fitness coach, Ashton Hall, it actually went super viral over the weekend when he showed his 6-hour morning routine. And of course, he did it through time lapse. And basically, he gets up at 3:50 in the morning. He shared this video where he gets up at 3:50 in the morning, starts doing push-ups, his gym routine. He goes swimming. He drives off in this, like, I don't know. Do you guys remember what car he was in? It was just like super luxe. I mean, my goodness.
Girl, I tried to forget that whole video.
I think it was a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, right. Then he's eating a banana at one point, but then rubbing the banana on his face, because maybe that has like, then he's dunking his face into an iced mineral water, a specific mineral water. It's a blue bottle.
Saratoga.
And what's it called?
Saratoga.
Saratoga, yeah. And I have seen these videos, people do these kinds of things, and I'm always rolling my eyes because I just think like, oh, brother. I'm like, I believe in self-care and taking care of myself, but I have a problem even doing a selfie in the gym because I just feel like it's slightly obnoxious. It's like, I work out, I'll take the picture on the beach later, but you don't need to see me in the mirror. But this just goes way too far. And seriously, like 3:50 in the morning, what time does this man have to go to bed? But what I loved about the comments that followed is people were actually giving him shit. Somebody put a cart of, like, they were at the grocery store and they had bananas in there and that Saratoga water, those blue bottles, and they said, am I forgetting anything? Somebody else wrote, whoever runs the ShopRite in Hoboken is a ball knower, because this was not next to the checkout line on Friday, the Saratoga bottles. Somebody said it's Monday again tomorrow, and they just have the picture of this guy with his face in the ice bucket, like, damn, I have to do this all over again. Somebody said, this being the most viewed tweet on this app is insane. Somebody, what I loved it, said, here's my morning routine. And they basically showed the time throughout the morning of them just rolling around in bed at 5 a.m., at 6 a.m., at 7. Finally, around 9 a.m., 9:30, they woke up and they looked like they were so totally out of it. And it was just hilarious. I mean, when you see these videos, Jeremy, what do you think?
I think they're ridiculous, and I don't care what people's morning routine is.
Yeah, I mean, it was one thing when we both were talking about that documentary that we watched at the beginning of the year. It was The Man That Wants to Live Forever, I believe. And he's his own science project. We both found it interesting, but insane as well. But at least it was a documentary, and he really is trying to figure out how to live longer and to avoid disease. And he wants to be 100, but not 100 and decrepit or ill, like so much of our population does when they live so long. And well, I thought that was a little crazy too. At least it did a little bit more deep dive into it. When you just watch these videos, though, Kodi, of this routine, and I mean, we went to bed at 3:50 in the morning last night, let alone he's getting up.
No. I don't know. He doesn't have a life, I don't think, outside of his 6-hour routine. That's ridiculous to me. I don't get how somebody could just do all of these things for 6 hours. And basically, he did some things, but I don't feel like he accomplished anything. And can we just talk about for a second how the most hilarious thing to me that these people are pointing out on the internet is that he dived off of into the pool at 3:56, but he didn't enter the water until 4 minutes later. It's ridiculous to me. So I can't with this man. His whole morning routine is giving me American Psycho vibes, and he probably needs to go see a therapist or something to work out all of these issues.
My God, American Psycho. Yes, and I hate that movie. It's actually a good movie. One of my best friends loves the movie, but I hated it because it kind of reminded me of these videos, and the guy is such a prick and it's all set in the 80s, and he wants to be, I don't know if he works in finance or something, and he's just it really does go crazy too at the end. Kind of substance like that kind of twist, would you say, Kodi? I mean, not horror, but it's creepy. But I hated it. But there is one guy that goes Beyonce Garden at Beyonce Garden, and watch his interpretation of this same video. He has this guy follow him around in a Mercedes Jeep, handing him the blue bottles of Saratoga water, and stopping for him just to do like leg jumps, and the guy's like handing him his briefcase, and he's shirtless getting into the back of it, only to go like 2 feet to get out of the car to do some more burpees. And it's a hilarious take on what the other man was trying to accomplish. So I just think it's hilarious.
Send it to me. I want to see.
I will. Oh, it's in that same link that if you watch that video, scroll through those and you'll see it. But I don't know if you've all seen this, but Bad Bunny is looking pretty yummy for, is it Calvin Klein? Yes, Calvin Klein. Yeah. And I was just in Times Square, actually going to see you, Kodi, at Dear Irving. And there's huge video billboards of Bad Bunny covering Times Square with his yummy package. And he's looking oh so good. I love Bad Bunny. But somebody that came into his comments was none other than Shawn Mendes. We talked about artists supporting other artists. And what did he say? Guapo. And this comes off of the heels when Shawn Mendes was in a concert last year and basically said there's been a lot of speculation about my sexuality over the years. And to be honest, I'm still figuring it out. What do you think about Jeremy, Bad Bunny's campaign for Calvin Klein, and B, Shawn Mendes dropping into the comments section?
I think that he looks great, and I love the photo shoot, and I totally think that Shawn Mendes is gay, but just not.
He hasn't figured it out yet.
Yeah, hasn't figured it out himself.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind watching that video, Kodi, of the two of them. I'm not the biggest Shawn Mendes fan, music-wise, but he is sexy. What did you think about Bad Bunny and Shawn Mendes jumping into the comments?
Yeah, they both could get it. The funny thing is, my mom asked me today, she was like, Kodi, what do you think of Bad Bunny? I like him. And I was like, where did that even come from? But maybe it came from...
Is he going to wear socks?
Maybe it came from this Calvin Klein ad. Maybe she saw this and she was like, I like me some Bad Bunny because it is really hot and he looks fantastic. And Shawn Mendes jumping into the comments. Did we not see it? Are we surprised? We're not surprised by this. He is, like Jeremy said, he seems like he's a little gay. So I'm going to go with that because there's so many other things that he could have said in the comment that would not allude to it being sexual or him finding him sexually attractive. But he chose guapo, and that means that he thinks that this man is fine. So there it is.
Yeah. I have to say, the only thing about Shawn Mendes I find is he's a little calculated, or I get that feeling that a lot of his career is very calculated. And I get it as a pop star. I mean, he's a successful pop star, but sometimes when you can read through things too much, it just seems, even that speech, which I feel for him, and I'm glad he brought it up and it was brave of him, seemed a little calculated to me. And then this seems a little calculated too. He knew that this would probably go viral too, and that we would be talking about it. And he's just putting himself back in the media. So that's the only thing. I don't find him always so authentic, and maybe that's why I think I watched the music video for his last album, and even that video seemed like it was an ad for Abercrombie and Fitch, to be honest. And I was like, ugh, okay. So just I'm not the biggest fan of him, but just because I don't find him is that authentic. But that's just my opinion. Okay, well, we love giving advice on this show, and this is just a fun one because I've been thinking about this a little bit recently. And it's simply, they wrote, "Are you guys handy?" What do they mean by that? They actually mean like a handy man. I said, I gay love repairing things and do-it-yourself home renovation projects of all kinds. Jeremy, this is coming right at you. I've met some great guys, gay, here on Reddit that I've connected with, but to my surprise, all but one claim not to be handy and usually have someone come to fix things. That's quite a contrast to in my real life straight friends who are all very handy. I know some straight people that are not handy at all. Is this just a coincidence, or do most of you guys just not care about stuff like that? Please let me know. And I say this because I was never handy at all. My dad tried to make me handy, who was very handy when I was a kid. And over the years, I was just telling my sister, because she has this condo in Puerto Vallarta, and we've had to do it yourself, fix a lot of things, put up stuff. And she noticed that I've gotten like a little bit more handier. I'm not handy, but I'm currently, my fiance is very handy. He took down the TV, this old TV that I had that just finally went out after 16 years on my wall, and took that down, put up the new one, covered like some scratches in the wall. And I mean, he is so handy, and I love being with a handy person. But Jeremy, you're very handy. Is Kevin handy? And what do you think about what this person is writing about?
I would say we're both handy. We also complement each other in that he knows like how to replace lights and electricity and stuff like that. And I don't know anything about that, but I do know a lot of other things like painting and construction and flooring and things like that. So we kind of help each other, and we really enjoy doing mini projects. And like we just wallpapered for his sister. She has like a laundry closet, and I painted the inside dark blue, and then we did like a nautical print on the inside wall of it, and we did that together, and through trials and tribulations finally got it finished. But we have a lot of fun doing it and just revamping things or figuring out ways to give something a fresh look with paint or just decor or anything like that, really.
It's never been a better time to try and be handy too. With TikTok and YouTube videos out there, you can really learn almost anything. You have to want to. But on the other hand, it's also a great time with apps. So I've tried some things, do it yourself, and I will try in the future. And I think it makes for great projects as a couple as well. But there's things like TaskRabbit, which I needed a wall painted. And when I say that this guy painted, this is not the largest wall, but I have high ceilings. Oh my God, he did it in an hour. And I was convinced he kept the price at what it was quoted. And I was like, he's never going to be able to paint this whole wall. And, you had to like cover up some stuff. He got it done. And I mean, it was like my back was to the wall because I was at my desk. I was like, I've been at my computer 30 minutes and he was almost finished. It was like crazy. So for that, I love things like TaskRabbit. But how important, Kodi, to you? Are you handy? Is it important for you to be with somebody handy? How do you weigh in?
Well, I thought I was handy until Jeremy started talking about doing electrical work and flooring and all that kind of
He
stuff.
needs to be on HDTV.
Oh,
So yeah.
who is this person? He could build a house, I think.
We're gonna see him on a new show. I feel
let's
it.
pitch it. We got to get this.
We'll
we gotta
produce it,
this.
Jeremy. We'll star.
Let's do it. I think I'm pretty handy. I can build things and IKEA bookshelves and whatnot. but I can also, put up things and fix things. And I find myself pretty handy. I do not play with electricity or plumbing because I'm afraid that all of that will go awry. And then what happens afterwards, the aftermath, you just have to pay twice as much for. So, but if you ask me to replace a light bulb, I can do that in a heartbeat. So, or change the battery on the fire alarm when it beeps, when it starts beeping.
Oh
So,
my
there we
gosh.
go. I'm good.
Well, I will
There we
toot your horn in one respect. You are very technical and figuring out technical things. Because I remember when I was away, you put up new modems for me, and I was like, "Can you help me figure this out?" And you did it while I was away. And you're a whiz on sleuthing out research, and so you make up. Yeah, I feel like at least somebody in the relationship has to be. If you were both not handy at all, I think that would be like one of the worst things, right? I mean, it's nice if one of you is, or like you, Jeremy. I think it's really great if you can find projects to do together, and that can be a lot of fun too.
Yeah, and I feel like you can also use, like you said, social media to help
Yeah.
you and get like new ideas. Like I save a bunch of tips and tricks and then go back to them. Like specifically for painting, there's so many different tricks that you can use caulking to give you like perfectly clean lines, and like just lots of ideas of things that I've never thought of that are really helpful.
Yeah, I need to redo my closet. So I'm going to start doing that. I mean, that's a good tip too, is bookmark a lot of the things. And you might not do it today, but I do that with recipes. Oh my gosh. Recipes and restaurants. I have they're filled with all restaurants that I've seen or want to go to that I hopefully will get to go to at some point, or recipes. I'm constantly searching for different recipes and trying new things. And so I should do that with home as well, and handy things. Excellent. Hope that helps. Oh my gosh, always so much fun with you guys. Could do this all night. You can follow my co-host. You can follow Jeremy on Instagram at @JRossLopez. Maybe you'll see some tips and tricks on there on do it yourself on his Instagram at @JRossLopez. Follow Kodi on the gram at Mr. Maurice, but it's also his Blue Sky account as well at Mr. Maurice. Follow me on the gram. I am _Stevie V, or go to my Twitter or Blue Sky account at TAGSPodcast, where you may or may not see some collabs, but you'll see some solo work, so you get a preview of it. And always good, go to TAGSPodcast.com and reference episode 651. And in the meantime, continue having hot day
sex.